Hello, Sailor. Good morning. Do you want to start with no reporters asking about the Russian bounty on our soldiers' heads, or do you want to start with the Russian disinformation campaign that Ron Johnson and the Republicans are currently using to try and, disparage Joe Biden right before the election? Where would you like to start? You go.
I
You
don't
go
know.
first.
Maybe they were all just overwhelmed by the secret police deploying all around the United States.
Yeah.
Understand they're coming to New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore. They've already been spotted there in Baltimore, Chicago, other major cities. So, things like Ron Johnson going out and characterizing this ridiculous attempt to use pro-Moscow, Ukrainian-supplied data that came from the exact same people that gave Trump the information, or gave to Rudy Giuliani the information that got Trump impeached. They're going all out. They're just going to say and do whatever they can in the run-up to this election and try to smear Joe Biden. And now they're using a United States senator who, I would not be surprised to find out that he has an apartment in Moscow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible just how many of these people who they know they're doing this, but to save Trump, they will betray the country and their oaths of office.
Yeah. Well, we've had this conversation how many times that the founders didn't count on an entire party being co-opted by a foreign enemy. I mean, this is, we really are heading into not just the most dangerous period, the most dangerous election, maybe the last election. I mean, there is Shouty McShoutface. There's no level of shoutiness that is shouty enough for this moment in our history, is there?
No, and this is why I emphasize that I'm not the one who has to be shouty. You all have to be shouty now. This last week is utterly amazing because there's no bottom. They will continue to keep going lower and lower. The one thing they cannot apparently stand is civil protest in accordance to the Constitution of the United States for right to free speech and right to redress and right to freely and peaceably assemble. They can't stand it, to the point where they've created this cobbled together police force made up of X-ray machine operators and Border Patrol, ranch hands, and are bringing them into the cities to act like they are protecting the country. By the way, I've read the document now for the Protecting American Cities Task Force. They're assigned, if you want to read a really good summary, go to Lawfare.
Yeah.
They are assigned to protect the front entrances to federal buildings, federal property, right to the curb, and any statue. And this was done specifically to protect Confederate statues.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, we should be on the express line to taking down all of those statues in order to keep these secret police from, attacking, city citizens.
I mean, speaking of having to defend Bush administration people, like whether it's a Cheney, Tom Ridge just said the Department of Homeland Security was created to protect Americans after 9/11. Not to be the president's personal police force. And I mean, you heard of General Russell Honore, of course, who was in charge of after Katrina. Did you hear him? He said a dirty word on CNN.
Yeah.
As you see right here, they beat this man up. Police don't do this. Watch this. What kind of bull is this? Wolf need to be run out of Washington. He has no business in charge of Homeland Security.
Yeah, by the way, you gave us a pop quiz, Malcolm. You said, I don't need invitations by the state mayors or state governors to do our job. We're going to do that whether they like us there or not. Was that British General Thomas Gage in Boston 1775 or first U.S. Secret Police Chief Chad Wolf? And I'm going to say both. Was it both of them? Did both of them say something like that?
Correct answer.
Okay.
Literally correct answer. I mean, historically correct answer. General Gage was sent to the colonies with the specific mission to put down all of the states, to dissolve states' representatives, in this case, the Boston, Massachusetts legislature, and to bring them under the control no matter what the locals cared or thought about. This is insane. We are literally channeling the British in 1775 right now.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, I suspect, is expecting that this is going to be, he thinks he's doing this strong on law and order thing. I'm afraid that there are people within that department who have volunteered for this duty who think that it might be a good thing to spark a civil war. It might be a good thing to have shooting going on, that they think that they have superior firepower. These people can and must be held accountable individually, right down to the officer. They can have civil suits put against them. They are federal employees. They can be identified and they can be brought to court if they hurt somebody, or like the guy. I want to know the name of the Border Patrol cop in Portland, Oregon, who said, "If you follow us, we will shoot you."
Yeah.
That man right there, someone needs to get a lawyer onto that and get some money.
Yeah. Well, you tweeted, warning, there it is. Wolf, the first official chief of the secret police in American history, telling America you, your state, local elected representatives don't matter in their authoritarian secret war on the Constitution. And I thought of you because you're, of course, a Navy man, but that big guy, the vet in a Navy sweatshirt, and they're just beating on him. And, he's my hero because they're beating on him and trying to, and what is it, macing him, whatever they're spraying him with. And he turns around and double birds them. Right?
Yeah,
but they broke his hand. Right.
Yeah. You know what? There's no protections here. If the Floyd George incident hasn't taught us something, we are now going into the second phase of this. And I say this with love to my friends who are law enforcement officers, who are federal protective officers. Policing in the United States needs to be fundamentally turned on its head.
Yeah.
If they cannot comply, officers need to be fired until they can get officers that will comply. There needs to be a national disgraced cop database, right? So that they can be put out and not hired by some podunk police force, where they can go out and buy armored vehicles. We have to demilitarize them, and they need to be, they need to stop this warrior cop mindset where they think they are in a war against American citizens. Where are those right-wing oath keepers and those right-wing 3%ers who claim that they formed their militias to stop, to get sworn law enforcement officers and military people to not attack American citizens? These are the people who went nuts when Special Forces held a training exercise called Jade Helm that had nothing to do with operations in the United States. They were these mirror image operations in Russia and China that were just being held in West Texas. But these hillbillies all show up with rifles claiming that the U.S. government is occupying the country. I noticed they support Donald Trump's secret police almost to a man. They want to be on it. They think the militias have a role in it.
Yeah. By the
We're
way,
in a very dangerous place.
Yeah. Where do you get the idea, you think, for little green men? Like they used in Crimea. Which friend of his did he get this idea from, do you think?
Vladimir Putin?
That was your church lady impression. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it was either Satan or Vladimir Putin.
I remember John Belushi on Saturday Night Live. I'm so old.
Listen, when we heard Karen Bass was in the running for VP, we both in unison went, "Ooh, that's terrific, Bass." Okay.
So anyway, by the way, I am not. If you guys ever wonder where my ranty comes from, I am doing a very decent General Russell Honore impression.
Yes.
These days, that guy is sincere, 100% miffed about all this. He's the one who came up with the phrase "secret police," BS. This is a man who saved an American city, disarmed the troops to stop going out and patrolling areas, but to actually go rescue citizens. And now he's seeing his country turned upside down, where guns and threats are being pointed at American citizens like they are the East German Stasi or Saddam Hussein's Mukhabarat. This is insane. And that's the thing I really am miffed about this week. We can go on and on about foreign disinformation. That is not going to kill me right away. Somebody who objects to what you and I or Jill Weinberg says could pull us over, or view what did Chad Wolf call it? Proactive arrest.
Yeah.
Proactively
Yeah, well,
arresting people.
Jill Wine-Banks has a brooch, so I would not mess with her if I were them. She's a brooch, and she will pin you, and not in a good way. Malcolm, real quick, before we go, this Elaine Maxwell moment yesterday.
Oh my
Just
God.
stunning. Just, I wish her well. You're like, clearly this is a message. Do you want to end up like Epstein, or do you want to end up like Roger Stone?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was stunning. And okay. And you also said, of the gunman disguised as a FedEx delivery driver broke into a New Jersey home of federal judge Esther Salas, killing her son and wounding her husband. You said Nance's law, coincidence takes a lot of planning. Just assigned 4 days previous to the Deutsche Bank Epstein case.
And, well, he had a lot of issues. We have to be objective about this here,
Right.
but he was phenomenally pro-Trump.
Yes.
Horribly misogynist and
Yeah.
anti-feminist.
Yeah.
And his goal was to punish her by killing her husband and son, successfully killing her 20-year-old son. If I were the FBI, I would definitely be going after this on did someone set him up to do it? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have any grounds for that. But let me talk about Ghislaine Maxwell for a second.
Yeah, we have 1 minute, so please just
1 minute.
Yeah.
You're talking about a president of the United States just wished well a woman who was arrested for human trafficking in underage children, pedophilia, and for acting as a pimp? What is going on here? Why are the media not? Morning Joe burned for an hour over this morning. Donald Trump has only said this to Mike Flynn, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, and now a human sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell. He's clearly involved if he thinks that he's going to wish her well. He didn't just know her around Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Okay? There's photos of these people together.
A zillion photos.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Malcolm, great stuff as always. Shouty, everybody, he's right. Everybody gets shouty.
Yep.
Everybody
Everyone.
is. Yeah. Have your I am Spartacus moment. I am Shouty McShout face. Okay.
That's
All of you.
correct.
Love you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Malcolm.